exactly sure what the deal is at the present moment, but I'm not really sure. It was a festive one to be sure here for the ARCA cars at Stafford. As I was saying, we had about as many yellows in this race as you would have in a bottle of lemonade. But overall, I gotta say, at least from our perspective, we won't have to worry about the crash damage. That was fun.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it as well. I mean, some people complain obviously about a caution-filled end to the race, especially late on, but sometimes I don't mind in terms of a short restart. I think for short track racing, it's fine and it works. The shorter runs to the end, but the real plaudits have to go to race winner Michael Curran here today because of that drive. Getting to the end, 56 laps on those tyres towards the end is a big job to get them all the way to the line. And ahead with that track position, yes, which of course really helps, but ahead of drivers with 20 laps younger or more younger tyres than that even. So yeah, that's where the real plaudits have to go. That was a great drive.
Yeah, it was a very great drive at the end of this race. We'll let you know that Michael Curran was your winner at the end of it all. Alex Thomas slotted in P2. Aaron Harden was your final driver on the podium with Vinny Tigner and Adam Reese running at your top 5. I believe at the present moment we're taking a look at the results. Unfortunately, I do not have the other production feed. I could just run through the top 10, let you know that Jeff Maconi, Tyler Curley, and some of the other drivers that we saw up towards the front throughout this race rounded at your top 10. And what was a wacky one to be sure here at Stafford. I mean, I'm at a loss for words. You know what I mean? We are paid to run our mouths professionally, and even then, it gets to the point where it's like, I'm not really sure what else I can add to that. It was a wacky series of events. Had a brief technical issue here, but we are back live here on Maconi Entertainment this evening for Fast Fridays. But actually, you know what we could do here, Howie, if you haven't done it already. Yeah, we'll get those results loaded up so I can actually run through them in style. So it's Michael Curran winning over Alex Thomas in P2, Aaron Harden in 3rd, Vinny Tigner in 4th, Adam Reese in P5, Jeff Maconi, Tyler Curley, Peter Smetana, Daniel Selway Jr. I don't think we talked about it all throughout that race, and the number 92 car finishes in 9th with Matthew Tennant rounding out your top 10. And we'd look through, I think we'll only go through the top 15 because pretty much everybody else outside of that got struck by falling anvil at some point. Dean Brummett, Brian Zablensky, Jeremy Briggs, Carter Levy, and Nicholas Uhrig rounded at your cars that were really even close to making it to the checkered flag. Everybody else running into some difficulties in what was a race of attrition at many points in time, but that finished towards the end. They kept it clean on that time, so well done to those racers.
Yeah, absolutely. For those who were at the front at the end, it wasn't all a big crash. I was slightly fearing that, especially on the last restart when we effectively knew that it was going to be the last one. We had the white flag as well. I was a bit scared that we were just going to see Alex Thomas hit Curran out the way almost into the final corner and win the race like that. But glad he didn't try and win the race like that, and nobody did in the end, which was very good. So yeah, mostly a clean end to the race. See a few cautions in the middle of it as well, but it's not like we didn't have any long green flag runs either. We even got a run of 20 right through the middle of that race, a run of 15 at the beginning. These are decent green flag runs at such a short track with such relatively lesser known cars, especially when you compare it to the next gens and Xfinities, as I said at the start.
And I think we will have. That is a nice camera shot there. I thought that 24 of Michael Curran was going to flip it right there as it came across the line. But we'll drag in Michael Curran to have a chat at the end of this race. Have a chat with our winner, who through a dramatic series of events at the end was able to weather the storm. Michael, welcome here into the broadcast booth. Well done on the win here in Fast Fridays. How about you talk us through that dramatic race that we just saw here at Stafford?
Yeah, definitely. I started second and kind of settled into second on that first run, and it must have been aero. Come to find out, that was really making me struggle. I mean, as well as probably a bit of a skill issue on my end as well. But I was really struggling behind the leader on that first run, and definitely did not feel like I had the fastest car. So I wasn't too confident in the rest of the race, especially with the various pit strategies going on. I took tires at one point, and I was way back in the back half of the field, and just didn't think I was going to be able to make my way back up. But everyone else kind of pitted it, and I stayed out. And I was pretty nervous those last 30 laps or so. With everyone having fresher tires, I thought I was dead in the water, honestly. But I think that arrow came back to actually help me stay out in front. So I was able to hang on there at the end through all those restarts.
Yeah, you're able to weather the storm, as I said, calling the end of that race, because I mean that was chaotic towards the end. How was it just seeing all that drama go on behind and knowing that he had to deal with yet another restart?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was good and bad. I don't think I really wanted a long green flag run because I was on older tires. So I was kind of rooting for the cautions, but I was just hoping those cautions weren't going to catch up to me at all, or if second, third, and so forth, if they were going to figure out kind of what I was doing on restarts and get ahead of me. So it was a bit of a chess match there with all those restarts, trying to change up my cadence a bit every time too to keep them guessing. But I was just lucky enough to avoid all the chaos and come out on top.
And I'll be walking away from this race as well with a nice $150 paycheck and a pretty good trophy to boot. You have any idea where you're gonna put up that trophy in your house?
Man, so yeah, I actually found I had to find kind of I don't want to say a specialty shelf, but just a shelf that's big enough to hold this huge trophy. I mean, this thing's huge. So I actually ended up finding a shelf and ordering one. So yeah, it'll go up on the wall for all to see. Anyone that comes by the house, I'll have a cool story to tell.
You'll be able to tell the story of the time that you weathered the storm of chaos here at Stafford and able to get the job done after 100 laps of drama. But Michael Curran, thank you for joining us here in the broadcast booth. Well done on the win. We'll let you give any thanks or shout outs before we let you go and truly celebrate.
Yeah, thanks, Ron. Yeah, I certainly want to thank Jeff Maconi for putting on this series. Maconi Entertainment, you guys in the booth, Maconi Setup Shop. This is a fun series, and I'm always looking forward to the next race. So, and thanks to everyone for tuning in and watching, and hope you enjoyed the show.
Yeah, we certainly did up here in the broadcast booth. I'm sure outside of some maybe elevated heart rate and some higher blood pressure, seeing all that drama towards the end, I'm sure you enjoyed it as well. But Michael, well done on the win, and looking forward to seeing you out there on the racetrack or wherever it is in the not too far off future, man. Well done on the win, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Ron. I appreciate it.
And that right there was Michael Curran, your winner here tonight. And as has been done many a time before here on Maconi Entertainment, it was one of my first shows where I had to have a chat with the boss man. And you just got started here at Maconi Entertainment a couple of weeks ago, even though you were a very good commentator, a hell of a lot better than I am. That's for damn sure. I'll let you have a chat with Jeff Maconi here. It's our little initiation ritual here at Maconi Entertainment.
Why not? Let's do it. Jeff, welcome in. Good to have you with us. First of all, let's chat a little bit about your race specifically. Sixth place finish tonight, but a roller coaster race, if you don't mind me saying, for yourself. How did you find it tonight?
Yeah, it was. Man, I love this track. I love this car, and so I'm frustrated. Like, it's always great when you can be really frustrated with a sixth place finish. But it was a ton of fun. Getting up front, I knew as soon as I slipped into second, I was starting to run Dean down. I think I was chasing Dean at the start. Yeah, I was. And I knew I was quicker than him, but once I got to him, I wouldn't be able to get around. So I just had to do the opposite of whatever he did. I faked him out coming to pit road and then rode around at the front for a while. Had a really bad entry into the pits, and so lost some time there. And then also it was just chaos with some people staying out, and the 15 took two, all of that. So once I was back in traffic, I knew it was going to be tough. And then there was a 3 wide deal where I got wrecked and had to use my faster pair. And from there, I just had to be really, really careful. And I think I was like fifth or something when I got spun around. Whoever it was just dove in 10 miles too deep and wiped me out, which that happens. But it was a ton of fun. I mean, I was battling really hard with the 15 at the end. We were dooring the heck out of each other coming to the line, so I had fun. I definitely, absolutely had fun.
And, it was a lot of fun to watch as well from here. How did you see the sort of the overall, in terms of how many cautions there were, the overall driving tonight, Stafford? Because this is tough. We were saying in the broadcast, ARCA racing at Stafford, not the most well-known circuit in the world. It's difficult racing. How did you sort of see it overall in the way that it was raced from everybody?
It was really good at the start. I mean, we probably ran the first 40 laps primarily under green, which was a ton of fun. And then, the back half of the race is always going to have wrecks and cautions and stuff. And it is just about survival. And we had to boot a couple people, which when you have a free to enter money race with $150 and a massive custom trophy on the line, you're going to have people that you have to remove for acting in poor faith, I should say. But it was really, really fun when it was green. I was sweating sweating bullets when I was in the lead and fighting for the lead and working my way back up through the field. There was never a dull moment. So the racing itself, when it was green, was really, really fun.
Yeah, no, it's great to see some extended green flag runs tonight for sure. Nothing left to say, I think, Jeff. And congrats on a good run tonight at 6th place finish, and thanks for chatting to us at the end of the night as well.
Thank you guys, and got to thank everyone here. You guys in the broadcast booth did a phenomenal job as always. I was listening in, so that was cool. Everyone at Maconi Setup Shop, and then all of my sponsors in the virtual and real world. Chastity Tucker Realty, Prosper Engineering, 4K Motorsports, Abruzzi Racewear, everyone that comes on board, and that is all in no particular order. They are all incredible to me. So huge thank you to all of them that make this possible, and Big Fish Barbecue. I can't forget them. I'm going to have a little bit of their sauce tonight. That's going to be great. And yeah, huge thank you to all of them, and phenomenal job by you guys in the booth as always.
Thanks again, Jeff. We'll hopefully, I'm sure we'll see you again very, very soon.
Absolutely. See you guys.
Thanks very much. Jeff Maconi, the 6th place finisher tonight from Stafford. A good run for Jeff tonight at times, just not quite the end result maybe he wanted.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not too terribly happy about a P6, but still gonna be happy about it. Driver's gonna get a trophy. Very happy about another running of Fast Fridays here on Maconi Entertainment. If you want to tune into this action, of course, you can catch it every single month, every single last Friday of the month here on Maconi Entertainment. And if you want to be a part of the action, you can learn more on MaconiSetupShop.com. Not really sure what we're going to see as we head off into the new iRacing season. I have a feeling that we're going to see some fun. I'm personally looking forward and begging Jeff if we can get a Formula V race on the Slinger Figure 8. But Ewan, this was a pretty fun race here for Stafford. Final thoughts before we wrap things up.
Yeah, absolutely. Proper short track racing in ARCA machinery here tonight. And, I'm a big fan of short track racing like this in the oval. So it was everything you expected. A few more cautions maybe you'd like towards the end, but those short runs on short tracks to the very end of races I think are pretty fun. So yeah, it was a good race overall, and a deserving winner as well, by the way, Michael Curran, who strategized his way to the front and just didn't give it up.
Yeah, good result there from Michael Curran. He's going to walk away with the trophy and the check. And it's not the end of the action here on Maconi Entertainment tonight. Stay tuned, as in about a half an hour time, we'll be bringing you the green flag for the second to last race of the regular season for the FLCC Friday Night Lights Xfinity Series. It'll be myself, Ron Mullins, and Jeremy Briggs on the call for that later on this evening. That's for this broadcast here for the ARCA Cars at Stafford. That will just about do it here tonight. We want to once again congratulate Michael Curran, your winner at the end of this race, and thank you to all of you tuning into this broadcast here tonight. But for myself, Ron Mullins, Ewan O'Leary joining me here in the commentary booth, and Howie Burrows doing a wonderful job working on the cameras and the graphics in the virtual production hauler. I say thank you also very much for tuning into this broadcast here on Maconi Entertainment tonight, and we hope to see you all wherever it is in the not too distant future.